Hey everyone. So today we're going to talk about another hot button issue in PUBG, which is how to drive vehicles like a professional. So first you'll have to find a suitable vehicle, such as this 4x4 right here, and you'll see that I'm prompted to press X to get in. That's because I play on Xbox, as you can tell by me furiously beating my sticks when I'm in combat, much harder than my father beat me with sticks as a child. So press X to enter if you're on Xbox, or square to enter if you're on the PS4. If you're PC Master Race, then get a life. So now that we're in a vehicle, you can see that it drives fairly well, but just being able to drive around is not necessarily the most important thing to pay attention to while in this vehicle. A lot of people want to know how to control the handbrake very well. They want to know what kind of jumps can vehicles take in this game, how to be able to get kills while driving. All these sort of hot button issues we'll address in this video. So time and time again, what I found when going over jumps and such in these sort of vehicles, it's really important to make sure that the weight is distributed evenly across a whole vehicle so that it doesn't take ramps at a really weird angle. To do this, you need to lighten your character. The way that I've found time and time again to do this is to actually just, while you're driving, go into your inventory and unequip all of the heavy things that you'd be wearing, such as body armor. It really just throws the vehicle out of whack, and you're not going to need it. You're in the safe, protected enclosure of this vehicle. So just go ahead, get rid of your helmet, get rid of your body armor. It'll make your vehicle handle much more smoothly than if you were wearing it. The second thing is that when you're approaching a jump, you may think you want to hit a jump straight on, so that way your vehicle is less likely to flip in midair. However, this is not really the case.
The dynamics for vehicle controls are not really that fleshed out in PUBG.
So what I found works really well is actually to hit every jump at about a 30-degree angle. So when you're going up a ramp, instead of hitting it straight on, you want to just angle your vehicle ever so slightly right before you go over the edge of the jump. And that way, you're less likely to wreck your vehicle. See, we landed on all fours right there, and it really is the best way to approach jumps in these off-road vehicles. Now the 4x4 is not the only option in vehicle you can drive in PUBG. Also, we have these dune buggies, which operate slightly different than the larger vehicles. For these, instead of shooting out the front tires, I recommend popping exclusively one rear wheel, and that'll really give you a lot more traction control when operating these motor vehicles. You'll have no difficulty going over any size jump, and they also have the ability to land jumps much more smoothly than I've found to be the case with 4x4s and Dacias and what have you. They're just much more nimble at the expense of a little bit of protection from the sides of the vehicle, but that's not really necessary because you go so fast anyway. See right there, what I did specifically was I rolled the vehicle onto its side when I was landing. So instead of landing flat on the wheels, which would damage the suspension, I landed on the rims, on the sides of the wheels and tires, so that way the vehicle's fall would be a little bit more cushioned. As you can see, it took no damage. That really is normally the case when you go over large ramps and land on sides of the vehicle. If you want to push this a little further, instead of landing on the side of your vehicle, I highly recommend landing on the roof of your vehicle, since you can see that these vehicles have these extremely sturdy roll cages. You'll be fine, and much as the name implies, you'll roll right back up onto your wheels and tires and be good to go. So I highly recommend attempting to use a ramp at a 35-degree angle, and then landing on the roof of your vehicle, so that way it rolls safely back onto the wheels of the vehicle. Not only have I found that it's easier to control vehicles when they only run on 3 tires instead of 4. Think about it, 3 is an extremely stable number. Think of the pyramids. They are made up of triangles, so therefore they are superior in every way to the 4 platform that most of these cars start on. You also just absolutely look cool as shit when you're driving on highways because they shoot sparks out, so you look like Ghost Rider, which is hella cool and will scare and intimidate your opponents. So I highly recommend popping tires before you get in vehicles. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes people just get a little antsy when they see you driving and you have to deal with them, such as this. Let's take a look at what he was using. 8-time scope. Oh, he had a level 1 helmet. That's very good. I like those a lot. Ghillie suits, they make you look like a Yeti. I don't really see the point. No, don't really. He wasn't really decked out in any way that I need. So with that, let's continue with the tutorial. What I just used to drive up to that opponent was a Dacia. It's a small car, maybe a sedan as you would describe it. They're probably my favorite vehicles to drive in the game. They go really fast, they control really well. Maybe second only on the favorites list to the 3-seater motorcycle, which is by far, if you ever see one, those are what you want to use to get around the battlefield. These vehicles are pretty good. As you can see, I'm not driving with any pop tires, so I'm already at a slight disadvantage, but I had to get to this zone, so I just really needed to get there quickly and didn't have time to really set up my vehicle the way I wanted it to. But these are always good alternatives to find on the battlefield. I recommend driving them around until you find a more suitable vehicle, such as the 3-seater motorcycle, the motorcycle with sidecar combo. Now, if you see another player driving, it's really important to engage them, to not let them really have a time off to think about what they're doing. So what you want to do is just start a large circle, kind of like a shark circling its prey. And then you just want to simply get out and take some pot shots. Remember, semi-automatic on these submachine guns. Actually, I think what we'll do is use my car to attack him at long range. So he's preoccupied, you just take him out like that, and no problem. He looks comfy, no need to even check his loot, he looks fine, so we'll just go on to the next players. Even though I have a lot of health left over, it's always a good idea when you're in a vehicle just to get a little bit of health back up. You know, that way if you encounter any jumps or anything that you're unexpected of, you can just kind of take them with a grain of salt. So I recommend just stabbing that heroin needle right in your arm, and then you're good to go. Hello. Oh. Oh. Are you okay, friend? You look like you're having a good time, so I'm gonna leave you to it now. Oh, butts. As you can see there, when that shot came in the vehicle, my onboard airbags did not deploy, which did not keep me protected. These vehicles, that's one of the reasons I don't really enjoy the Dacia very much, is that the safety features installed on them sometimes don't work. I really think that the manufacturer needs to recall these vehicles and make them more safe for their occupants. It is a serious issue that I've had trouble with time and time again, but as of now, that's just the way they work. So as I mentioned earlier in this tutorial, I recommend using the Dacia exclusively to drive you to a safer vehicle, such as a three-seater motorcycle, where you can really just get in them and move about the battlefield safely. I hope this helps.